الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear sweet students of summer school, let's recite Durud and Salam upon the beloved and blessed Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله. Excellence of reciting Durud and Salam upon the beloved and blessed Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. When a believing Muslim student, whether parents, brother or sister, recite 3 times Durud and Salam in the morning and 3 times in the night with love, with muhabba, with devotion, Allah Azza wa Jal will forgive the minor sins he committed that day. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. A very crucial topic today, my dear students, that we're going to discuss. And inshallah Azza wa Jal, we're going to jog your memories, because you see these things maybe at school, or maybe you see them on the street lying on the floor. The harmful effects of using a vape pen. Okay? Inshallah Azza wa Jal, we need to educate regarding these. There's many shops that are open. You know, even in the main street, we find 3 to 5 shops just on one street, because there's a lot of money in this. Inshallah Azza wa Jal, if I get the opportunity, I will contact one of the stores, a person that I know who sells vape pens. And the amount of feedback he gives, he says, I have so many customers come to me because it's an addiction. Yeah? And he's heard so many stories regarding people who are smoking this. What's happened to them? They've lost their memory. Yeah? Their memory's gone weak. They are seeing things which they're not supposed to be seeing. You know, like the person has a dementia. Or person says, look, or you probably say to that individual, he's mental, what's wrong with him? He's seeing something. He might see 2 of you, 3 of you, yeah? Because his mind is losing the plot because of smoking certain substances. Now, I'm going to make you read these, because obviously I'm educating you, and there is a test that we're going to do, hopefully, and there's some questions and answers that you need to answer. And there's about 6 to 8 points of that you can put down. What are the side effects? So if someone takes this, what side effects can he have? Okay, so let's get started inshallah. So I want to ask the students, if you go into a shop to buy a vape pen, how old should you be? Okay, how old should you be?
30.
You have to be 30.
Yeah.
What do you think the age limit is?
If you decide to buy a vape pen from a shop, I think you should be 18 or over.
18 and over. What age?
I think it's 16.
16 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can see some of the students have said different age criteria. Someone said 30. Yeah? And that's a good number. I think so. Because the more you go higher, I don't think anybody should be smoking this. Okay? On the internet, if you do your research, there's many different answers that they're giving. Like one of the students said 16 years old, right? Okay, he might have read that on the website. There is misinformation given on the websites if you Google, right? There's some of people who say, there's an article in Google that a person has to be 21 to take this. But physically, mashallah, one of the students said, yes, you have to be over 18, yeah, to purchase this at a shop. But there's many shops out there which I've come across, which I've seen with my own eyes, school students buying this over the counter at the age of 13, 12, and 14. Right? And it has been reported to social services. It has been reported to the police as well. But they will not do anything about it. They will say for you to contact trading standards and to make a complaint there. But I have to physically go into the shop and make a complaint and tell them you're messing with people's lives when you're selling a vape pen. So I want someone to read this product, yeah, and let's see what this contains inside. Okay, so who's a good reader here?
This product contains nicotine, which is a highly addictive substance.
So, mashallah, Umar, he read the little note, which is an important note for people before they buy this product. It's highly addictive. What does addictive mean? So, addictiveness, go ahead.
Addictiveness is that when you try something the first time, you get the feeling to do it again and again, and it becomes a habit and you can't stop doing it.
MashaAllah, good answer. So everybody say, MashaAllah loudly. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Okay, so obviously it's addictive. People start from cigarettes. This is another thing. That's addictive. That has nicotine in there as well. And they want to start trying different things now because obviously there's substance in their blood now. And then they have to go into a detox to actually get it out. You know, when you go into drugs. Yeah, so there's different type of drugs out there. And people will put it in cigarettes. They'll wrap it up. And they may give it to you to your hands. Now I'm going to tell you a story. Right? And this story relates to an Islamic brother that I came across. And he was in the park where I resided, where I lived. And I approached this brother. And I told him, I asked him, tell me how you became addictive to drugs. How were you, put on them? He cried. Because no one's really asked me this question. No one really cares. Because when someone's on these kind of substances, right, all they're worried about is buying these substances. They're buying these drugs, right? Now, there might be someone out there who looks at my video on social media, may not agree what I'm saying. But I want to save my students. I want to save this Muslim community, right? This is israf as well. It's mukru, the cigarettes that we smoke. So we have to be careful because it creates bad odors. And whenever we come into the masjid, what happens is, a non-smoker can smell a smoker from 2 meters away, right? But that person doesn't realize. Just merely eating some chewing gum and doing some mouthwash, there's still the smoke of his mouth. You can still smell that odor. And sometimes what happens is when in a car, in a bus, even though in the UK law you're not allowed to smoke in the house because it affects other people, so that's why they smoke outside. But in cars they smoke this and it can damage you as well. Okay? Because when they have these drugs and everything, they're smoking in the car and it's going into in the car environment as well. So that person, I asked him a question. Yeah. So what he said is, I had a friend and he was making a cigarette with tar, okay? And there was some drugs mixed in that tar. And he would smoke it. Because he was addicted to it, he was smoking it. So he would share that with his friend. He goes, you have some as well. He started smoking it, but his friend never told him. So after days has passed, that person started asking for more. Right? He started asking for more. He goes, what is this? He goes, oh, you're on drugs now. You're going to have to buy it. It doesn't come cheap, this stuff. So he had to start paying for it and buying it. Where would he get the money from? Now, I'll tell you another story. I used to have a store in town, and I had one brother that came. He was actually going to the hospital for a detox. And he was on drugs for 20 years. 20 years is a long time. And he was in tears as well. He goes, I'm trying to get off it. And then I said, tell me your story. How did you come on it? Yeah. He goes, one day, there was a friend and he smoked it. Or maybe he gave it before, he gave him something to smoke, he didn't realize it. He became sick because his immune system was playing him up. He was feeling sick and he had so much diarrhea. Now, as he was going to the doctor, his friend saw him outside the window. He goes, "Where are you going?" "Yeah? Where are you going?" And he said, "I'm going to the doctor's." He goes, "I'm the doctor. Come on, let me fix you up. Let me come down." Came down, he sat in the car with him, and he put that stuff, whatever it was, on a foil, and he made him smoke it. And then he asked him, "What is this stuff? I've gone better straight away. I had a really bad cramp." And he said, they called it at that time, this was a long time ago when these drugs came out newly, right? They called it smoke the drug, and so they were giving it different names. Yeah? So he got addicted to it. For 20 years he got addicted to it. He couldn't get off it because it was in his blood. He tried detox, he tried different things. Yeah? So we're talking about addictive substances here. So you don't know what it's got inside it. What's making you go into the shop and to buy more? I'm telling you, at this stage in the markets, these will be the richest people now. Because the person, he's making $2,000 a day selling vape pens. Because it's not something that you buy at the shop that someone can say, "Look, I don't want to buy it." No, he's addicted. He has to buy it. Yeah? And he's got so many flavors, so many varieties. Now, I just heard on an article just recently, right? Police, what did they do? They raided a shop, right? They had I think the confiscated 2,000 vape pens that were not legal in the UK. Don't know what they had inside it. So there's people, right, manufacturing it now themselves. They're putting silly stuff in there that causes harm to someone. Now, I had a person who sat itikaf. Yeah? He sat itikaf. He was a heavily person who was smoking vape. He had a vape in his hand. Even in the masjid. Right? And apparently, he told his father, "Look, it's month of Ramadan. I'm going to go to the masjid." His father said, "You're not well. You can't go to the masjid." He said, "No, I'm going to go." Yeah? So he threatened his parents with something dangerous because his senses was not working because of this. Now this causes so much anger as well. You know why you get anger? Children getting a lot of anger. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing sometimes. It's because of the substance that they're taking. They're sleeping a lot. Yeah, it makes you sleep a lot as well. Tiredness. Because it's messing with your system inside. So this person, he couldn't sleep. Now we were notified afterwards. We went and spoke to this individual. We sat down. And guess what? All the people that were in the calf, they were scared of this individual. Because this person was not sleeping. Because of this substances that he was taking, he couldn't sleep. All he was doing was looking at people in itikaf. Yeah? They got scared. They got, "This guy's not sleeping. He's staring at us. He's going to do something stupid." So we got a phone call. You know, where's this guy turned up from? Yeah? So he started slamming the chairs. He started losing it. Now the reason I'm mentioning this, now how the parents are treating with this individual. It's going to be very difficult to the parents. Now when we contacted the parents, we said, "Look, why we brought him to the masjid? He needs to go to hospital." Yeah? He goes, his parents says, "Look, we don't know what to do with him." Yeah? And he's still smoking the vape pen even in the masjid. We said, "No, we can't allow someone smoking this stuff in the masjid. I'm sorry." Yeah? Even young children are smoking this. There's adults, there's many people, you know, there's big bodybuilders. Now, if I can get in touch with my relative, my cousin, inshallah, he'll tell you some stories. I've only told you a few, what this stuff does. Even non-Muslims are crying as well with their children who are smoking this stuff. Not just Muslims, non-Muslims as well. So let's, obviously you've told us about the age criteria, inshallah. Yeah, 18, right? And you've told me the purchase, you know, what age it should be in the shops. Now there's a lot of shops, like I said, are selling to underage, and it's all about business. Okay, it's all about making money. Once you're on it, you're going to give them the money to buy it more. You can keep buying of them. Yeah? So I think it's not right, you know, to sell these products, even in the UK, even around the globe. So whoever's made these, right, is making a lot of money. Okay, so how many chemicals do you think they mix in this product? Let's ask some of the students. So just make a rough idea, because we've got a sign here. It's got a skeleton sign on it. Yeah, a red sign with the face and bones on there. Okay, so that's giving some high level chemicals in there. Yeah, and you know, a pregnant woman can't take it, otherwise a baby die. Yeah, it can affect that baby can die. Okay, right? And you know, we find, look, it says do not throw these vape pens on the floor. Yeah, now we've seen on the streets in the night, they're blinking. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, my little Abdul Hanan, 7-8-year-old at that time, picked up a vape from a street, brought it home. I was shocked to see. I said, where have you bought that from? Oh, it was on the floor and I picked it up. They're not disposing it correctly. Little children are picking it up from the street and smoking it. I'm telling you. And that's another problem that's going on now. Okay. Research on the internet, you know, the type of chemicals they are mixing. Now, they've not mentioned what chemicals they're mixing, but it will be harmful to your body. Because they have to give that taste as well, Azur. You know, the flavoring of what? Blackberries, strawberries, all this flavoring that they put in there, you know, because if they don't put the flavoring in there, it's going to be a bit unsour to smoke this stuff. So to flavor it up with these chemicals, yeah, you know, how, imagine, you know, even spraying an air freshener. Air freshener is bad for your lungs, isn't it? We say even in the masjid or anywhere in the house, whenever you spray any air freshener, even in the car, make sure your doors and windows are open. But what you're doing is you're directly taking this, what is it, air freshener inside. It's quite a big odor in it. You can smell it from like 5-6 meters away. The whole room gets fragrant with this vape pen. You might have noticed. Yeah? Okay, so how many chemicals do you think it has? Okay, go ahead.
8 or 9
You think
chemicals.
it's 8 or 9 chemicals? Okay.
I think it's 20 to 30.
20 to 30?
Yeah.
Good number.
I think it's 18.
18?
Yeah.
G, what do you think it is?
99.
99? Could be, guys, you never know.
Oh my god.
G, what do you think it is?
I think it could be 12 because you have to get the flavoring. You also have to get that like feeling that that messes with your brain.
Right, okay. Good effort, guys. MashaAllah, you gave me some numbers, figures. But the research, if you do some research, there's 30 different chemicals. So someone said 20 to 30. Yeah, if you said 30, there's around about 30 different chemicals. Can you believe that? So different substances are in this product. Okay. Now I've got a questionnaire here for you guys to fill in, right? I think we should do this together. What do you think? Okay. So there's another thing we were supposed to mention. Yeah. Some of the vapes that you buy in the market, how many percentage of nicotine do you think they have? Guys, quiet. We're going to listen to Ahmed.
If the vape is highly addictive, then the nicotine will be an higher percent. So the percent might be up to 50 or 60% of nicotine.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Rehan.
Sometimes people say they're like 2%, 1%, or 3%, but like in reality, this is like more.
There's more, yes.
Yeah.
G, go ahead.
Vape pens have 100%
How many?
nicotine. 100% nicotine.
100% nicotine. Yeah, some vape pens have 100% nicotine as well. Okay, Umar, you tell me what you think nicotine is.
Poisonous.
MashaAllah. That's a good answer. I'm putting 100% nicotine here. A vape pen has. Okay. Even though some of them have 2%. But on the internet, I've seen on some boxes, some do have 100% in there. Right? It says, enter the age this product is suitable for. I've seen on the internet is 21 plus. But on the box it says 18. So we'll put 18 plus down. Okay? Legal age limit to purchase a vape pen. Right? Some of you said 16, some of you said different age, right? But this should be over 18, but some shops, unfortunately, are selling it. Yeah? So 18 plus as well. Okay? How many chemicals are mixed in this product? 30 odd chemicals are mixed in this product. Okay? 30 plus we'll put down. Okay? So this is the chart we filled in. This is the box information, right? Which is quite hazardous for health as well. And if you do your research, hopefully we'll come to the question, what are the side effects of using a vape pen? So obviously I've discussed some of the points with you. So maybe you know some information that you can put in there. Okay. So I want to ask, how much does one box of this product cost? Let's ask some of the students.
I think a vape pen costs 20 to 30 pounds.
20 to 30 pounds. Go on, what's the answer, Abu Bakr?
£10.
10 pounds. Okay, mashallah. Ji Aman.
I think it's about 20 pounds.
20 pounds, yeah?
On average.
Okay. So if you want to put your figure in there, everybody's giving me different figures. 10 pound, 20 pound, 30 pound. Yeah? So roughly, I'm going to put 10 pound, okay? Now you can put whatever you want in the first box. So enter the price of the vape e-cig pen. How much do you think it costs? Okay. Now enter the total number of vapes purchased in 1 month. So if you times by 10 pound, so if you say we bought four in 1 month, so we put in 40 pound. Okay. So you are spending 40 pound in 1 month. Okay. Now calculate the amount purchased in 12 months. So 40 times 12 is 420. 480. So in a year, 480 pound. Okay. 480. Yeah, it's correct. Okay. Now enter the total amount in this box. So total amount you're spending a year, or if you bought 2 years, it'll double that amount. So 480 pound. Okay. So how much do you think you can donate to charity if you was not smoking, right? Cigarettes, drugs, vape pens. Gee. So at least you could be, the amount that you've calculated, 480 pound can go to charity. Yeah, and you can feed with this money, you know, about 500 people. Food. 500 poor people you can feed. This money can be used as useful things. Yeah? But you are wasting it on what? Smoke. Yeah? So what's the ruling regarding inhaling vape pens in Islam? Let's ask them. Okay, go ahead.
I think it's very close to being haram, but it isn't haram.
So Ji Rehan, what do you think it is?
I think it's makruh.
Makruh. MashaAllah. Ji Umar, what do you think it is?
I think it's forbidden in Islam because they would cause chemicals to Muslims and other Muslims. If you tell it to other Muslims.
I like your answer. Yeah, I would go with makruh, okay? But like Umar, mashallah, hearing the effects of it, yeah, he said it's not permissible. You shouldn't be smoking it. You know, if I was a very strict person, you know, vapes are really bad, then I would say, look, don't smoke it. Okay? So what does israf mean? Who knows what israf means? Now this could be on water when you come into the masjid, right? Yeah, I'm just giving you a hint, okay, what you think israf could mean. Something that you, okay, let's ask some of the students. Okay, go ahead.
I think he means that if you do something, you won't get gunah for it, but you get sawab from staying away from it.
You think that what israf means? Okay. Yeah, good effort. What do you think it is?
Insraf me, I think insraf means what do you say? Wasting.
Wastage, yeah? Correct? Okay. So israf means wastage, yeah? Like water, if you waste excessive water, when you're making wudu, Yeah, that's israf as well. So wasting excessive amount, right? And same again, vape, just smoking it for merely what? What's your desire? Why do you smoke vapes? Yeah, you don't achieve anything from it. So that's why it's israf, is wastage. It's wastage of money as well. Okay. So I'm just gonna write makruh there. If someone gives you electronic vape at school, what should you do? Ahmed, what do you think?
If someone gives you an electronic vape, you should say no, no thank you, and stay away from it.
Some people, they actually make deals with vape pens as well. If you do a job for them, we'll give you a vape pen, right? If someone to give you a vape pen or make a deal with you, what will you do?
Me, I personally would say that I'm not gonna do that deal. But if they keep on asking me or
Yeah.
blackmail me, I'll tell adult or guardian that's like trustable, reliable.
Okay, that's good.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead.
I would say no, thank you.
You say no, thank you. Umar, what do you think?
If somebody gives you a vape pen, you say no, thank you, and then walk away.
Walk away. Good. You should report it to a member of staff, a teacher, right? Or guardian. Someone who knows who will deal with your problem, okay? You can tell your parents as well that someone at school offered you a vape pen, okay? Okay, that's fine. The last thing I'd like you to fill in here, what are the side effects of using a vape? You've got 8 points, and I want you to quickly write down the 8 points while I'm going to try and make this phone call. We've got last 5 minutes to finish off, okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen ala kulli hal. How are you, brother
Mashallah.
Matloob? I hope you're well, in good health.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. You're ringing on a private number, by the way.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm in a class at this moment, and
Yeah.
I'm with the students of summer school.
Oh, mashallah.
So I want to ask you a few questions regarding vape pens, because the topic is regarding vape pens today. You know, what information can you give?
Well, first of all, this technology is quite new. So there's not enough research that's been done of the benefits or the harms of this technology. And a lot of the governments, they are promoting this as an alternative to smoking and as an alternative, as a healthy alternative. But there's no research to say it's healthy or not. Okay, so it works differently. Yes, there's no carcinogenics, there's no smoking is very different. Now with this one, obviously we work with the guys in China, and the guys that design these vapes are like expert scientists, you know.
Right.
And the whole idea of these devices and vaping is to get people hooked on a different addiction. And there's 3 or 4 types of addictions related to this vape devices. And it's, first of all, the nicotine is very pure. It's a pure nicotine that hits your brain straight away. That's very, very addictive. The second addiction is the flavors. People get used to the nice flavors. I get people coming into my shop, they've never even tasted a mango or a lychee before, but they want a lychee flavor. They've never tasted the fruits before, but they want the flavors. So the flavor is one of the other addictions. And the third addiction is the placebo. You know, when people get stressed and they get some problems in their life, they've made the vaping as a coping mechanism. A little bit of anxiety, straight to the vapes, like babies have got a dummy in their mouth all the time. They just keep the thing in the mouth all the time. It calms people down. And the other thing is, with smoking, when people used to smoke, you smoke a cigarette, you throw it away.
That's right.
But with these things, because they're just next to your pocket or they're next to people wear them around their necks. You actually smoke more than you would a cigarette. Now, ultimately, what I've seen is people are turning into like zombies. if they don't get the hit, they don't get this addiction, they go crazy.
That's right.
You
I
know.
feel that.
So what you're finding is people are, like, it's a very serious drug. It's a very serious addiction now. The governments are trying to regulate this, but I don't think it can get regulated. You know, people that want it, they're going to get it, just like any other drug. So the person themselves have to regulate themselves.
So what advice can you give to the outside world, to the students?
Well, the student, if they're already smoking it, then first, if you're not smoking it, don't touch it. Just don't be interested in it. You know, if you're not smoking it. If you are smoking cigarettes, then obviously you can use it to cut down. You know, but don't switch to cigarettes to these, because these are more addictive.
That's
so
right.
if you're gonna give cigarettes, if you're gonna give up cigarettes, then just give up. But don't do this. Start the gym or something else. A good addiction, not a bad this one. With the vape, if you're already doing it, then what to do is start going on the zero nicotine ones. You know, start cutting. There's technology out there. There's no nicotine in them. They just flavor.
Right.
And a lot of, even the English people, a lot of the people that come into my shop, they don't go for the big puffs. They just get the small one. They just take it and then they throw it away. So basically start cutting down, and you have to generate the willpower to stop.
Inshallah. Thanks for your advice.
No problem.
May Allah bless you.
No problem. Jazakallah.
You take care, yeah?
Alright, assalamualaikum.
Okay, so the 6 points, one of the students has written down. So what have you written down for 6 points?
Lung cancer, heart disease, memory loss, blindness, severe dry coughs, hearing loss, tissue trauma, and desire for spicy or salty foods.
MashaAllah. Okay, we're going to put a stop to this now. I hope you've learned something new and you'll keep away from vape pens, okay? Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.